business was meant for our dreams to happen. And you know who that's for? That's for every single one of you.
I'm just going to play offense and see the best version of myself, and you're seeing the best version of PHP today.
You've never been in a better time to be in business and to make a difference in this country that we live in today.
You got to put yourself in a position to be able to work when nobody's looking and understand that nobody defines you but you.
You're going to do this. This is the next industry. Everybody's going to do this. I'm going to be a millionaire.
I wanted to do something big. I wanted to be the best version of myself.
You stick to this game long enough, everything that you dream of will become reality.
It really is how bad you want it.
The number one question is asking, who do you want to be?
What's cracking, everybody? Mighty smart guy, Matt Sapaula here. Hailing to you from Addison, Texas, a direct suburb of Dallas, Texas. And with me today is fellow first-generation cash flow millionaire from Houston, Texas, patching on in for this episode of PHP Podcast, Rodolfo Vargas. I think you have a very close knowledge of who we have as a guest today.
I do, Matt. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to be here, Matt. Thank you for the introduction. Well, we have a guest today. Everybody's going to be excited. Everybody wanted to see what's going on over there in Michigan. And I got the chance to meet him. He's rocking and rolling, newly promoted marketing director over there, running their own territory. The one and only Ahmed Hazime. We're going to have him, Matt, today. He's going to be telling his story.
I mean, rumor has it, he'll confirm it. They made over $100,000 in a month. He's brand new to the company, so we're gonna discuss this and unpack it in this episode of the PHP Podcast. Tune in and share this in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Back. So we got a lot to cover today. We got a bunch of videos we want to share with you. We've got things here from our recent trip to Rodolfo. You don't even know this, but we have a recent trip that we just came back from Cancun, Tulum, and we have a little bit of a preview before it goes live on our YouTube channel.
I know you went. I know you went over there because you look a little bit tan today, man. You still look tan. You know that.
Listen, man, my tan starts to hold closer and tighter and darker the more spring and summer starts to come in, and I'm excited about sharing that video. We've got a video also about International Women's Day. We're going to be talking about that too as well. A bit of Q&A towards the end of this podcast, and we're going to be talking about inflation. We're going to be talking about how it affects the life insurance industry, how it affects agents, their clients, and we have a lot to cover today. And we're going to talk about a lot of things about what you can control to make sure you harness the best opportunity to have you become a successful agent and agency builder in the insurance industry today. So, Rodolfo, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy? How you doing, man? How's things?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling excited. I think that this month, I'm not thinking, I'm not believing. I know this month is going to be the greatest month in the history of the company. I'm telling you. We're going to have a record. We are having right now a record-breaking month as a company. So I'm excited in different categories, not only in bringing on board new agents, also in production and cash flow. I'm excited for the future. But let me introduce you to the speaker. We want to hear his story because
yes,
I remember when I met him the first time. Okay, I remember the first time we brought on board Haz Boosie. Haz Boosie was working in Florida, and Haz tells me Haz is a stud. Okay. The start of his stats, he became a marketing director super fast. He's running in Florida, and he says, "Listen, Rodolfo, I grew up in Michigan, and we have a team over there, and there is somebody that I believe that he can be a big player." So we go meet him. I went to Michigan, and I met him for the first time. Okay, he's serious. He's paying attention. He was running a company with his dad. He'll tell more about the story about his dad and how his dad runs a restaurant. FYI, the restaurant is delicious. Okay, this is a Middle Eastern.
I've never heard of a Middle Eastern ever running a restaurant ever before in the history of my life. So.
Bro, this place is legit. They give you these juices, and they have Middle Eastern combined. They have sushi, delicious. The first time I go there, and I see him the way that he's treating people. And I'm looking at the way that he's treating customers. And I'm watching the way that he is the boss, but at the same time, he knows how to treat people well. And now I understand why he's building a team. Then let me give you another story before I bring him up. Then the other day, I go again to Michigan, and Haz is driving. And Haz take me to this corner, and we're in the light. And Haz tells me, "Watch over there at the corner." And I'm looking at the corner, and guess what, Matt? I see a building with a big sign of the company PHP. And I said, wait a minute. There is an office over here? This is awesome.
Nice.
And we go into the office, boom, jam-packed office with big energy, huge energy. And so I believe he can be a big player in the company. He's showing the effort. He's putting the effort. He's a big player. He went over there to the event. He took his team over there all the way from Michigan to the last event that we have. So we have the newly promoted marketing director who just got paid $100,000 in a month. The one and only Ahmed Hazime. Ahmed, do we have you on the line?
How are you guys?
Ahmed, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You know, a couple weeks ago, we did a IG live on my IG profile, and we had a great conversation, just getting to know him. By the way, for those of you who are watching this, the person that brought me to the business, his name is Haas. So I know Rodolfo said it very quickly, but I'm like, Haas Boosie. That sounds like a clothing line. Hey, is that the new Haas Boosie? Yes. That's the new Haas Boosie shirt, right? But Haas, how do you know Haas, Ahmed?
So Haas and my brother were friends in high school. Haas used to live in Michigan before he left us to the palm trees and stuff like that. So he was in Michigan. They went to high school together. And then that's how we know each other from my brother, and both of them are friends.
You know, Rodolfo, when I'm from Chicago, and I didn't realize in Detroit, they called it the D. What up, though? Right? I didn't realize that there's a lot of Middle Easterners out there, a large Chaldean community out there. Talk to us about growing up in Detroit, and what's money and insurance ever talked about?
So, I mean, growing up in Detroit, we have a big Middle Eastern. It's a big population here. I mean, if you think of Lebanon, right? If you want to think of the second Lebanon, it's in Michigan. So, I mean, growing up in there, none of them really, like me, before getting into the financial industry, I did not know what it was. Like, I don't know anything about financials, how money works, inflation, none of these things. And keep in mind, I went to high school and college, but they don't teach me any of these things, right? So with that, I didn't really know much about financial services. The community did not know anything about financial services as well.
So how was the meeting with Haas when he met with you and he tells you, hey, let's do this together? Because I know a little bit about that meeting, what happened in that meeting. So tell us, how was that meeting?
So that meeting was, I mean, Haas is a talker, right? So Haas knows how to talk. He knows how to talk. That's one thing I give him. But he presented it so well, what PHP is, what systems they have, how you make money in the PHP and the financial services industry. And I said, you know what, why not? I mean, I just graduated college, right? I got my degree in supply chain management. I don't want to stay in the family business. I love the family business, don't get me wrong, but I need to go make a name for myself. I can't just, my father did 1, 2, 3, let me ride his coattails. So with that, what we did was, so Haas presented to me. I was like, you know what, why not take the opportunity?
I love it. So, by the way, we're watching at your Instagram.
Private.
You guys like the I gotta make it unprivate.
Yeah, you gotta make it. And let me make sure I follow back. Okay.
I love it. So Ahmed, and tell us about I know that. Tell us about the team. What's going on over there, and why you guys are growing so much? I mean, what is the culture over there in the office over there in Michigan?
Very, very excited for the team in Michigan, man. I mean, just seeing where we started to where we are now, very exciting. You got a couple studs in the office. You got Mahmoud Ajami, next MD in the office. You got 20-year-old Hawlo Tles. I mean, he's been killing it. He's developing leadership skills. You got a lot of people in here, but those are the top 2 next marketing directors, hopefully out of Michigan. I mean, culture was hard in the beginning. I mean, just like anybody, you open an office, right? You gotta develop the culture. You gotta do all these things, and it was challenging at first. But now, I mean, everybody's bought in, everybody's aligned, everybody has that same vision, and we're ready to rock and roll.
So
you go ahead, Matt.
So, what was your career back? Your career back was the restaurant business, and that's what you saw growing up. So is PHP your first financial company? Were you ever licensed? Because I know the house was in a financial company before. Were you ever in insurance before?
I was never in insurance before. PHP is my first insurance job. For first, never had any financial services background.
You know, Rodolfo, that's pretty interesting. Another one. It's 90% of our company, based on our DEI report, that 90% of everybody coming to PHP Agency had zero financial services experience previous to that. And Rodolfo, you're part of that too as well. You had zero financial services experience either.
Zero. Look, I'm an immigrant from El Salvador with no English, who was working as a security guard / janitor, okay? The professional, you know, I used to tell my friends in El Salvador, hey, where are you working? Where are you working, Rodolfo? I'm working a multinational called Sears, okay? And I'm preventing the losses of the team. I'm preventing the losses for multinational called Sears. People, wow, man, that's pretty badass, man. No, I was a janitor loss prevention, okay, at the mall. That's what I used to do. No, yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy? And I have a theory. I can tell you later the theory why is it that we're attracting so many people that are not from the industry. I have a theory. Okay?
What is it? I'm curious what you have to say.
So, man, it's deep. It's deep, man.
Here we go.
It's deep. No, you know something? You asked me philosophical. It's deep.
Did you find this when you're walking on the beaches of Tulum?
No, it could be taking a shower in Tulum, okay, in Mexico. No, I believe Ahmed has a pretty good story, okay, on how his dad and everything, and his brother and his mom. I mean, what happened to his mom? He has a powerful story. The same with you, Matt. You have a powerful story. So let me give you the story. You know, why we do what we do. People think that we do this for the money. People think that we do this for the, oh my gosh, let me sell you this great product, or let me show you how to make $100,000 to $200,000 a month. So let me tell you this story that happened to me the other day. So, you know, I drive a Lamborghini, right? Every day I drive the Lamborghini.
This is what we call a flex.
Flex. But let me tell you the story.
You know, I drive a Lamborghini, right?
You know.
Now we know. If you didn't know, now we know.
So look at
this. I love it. Love the flex.
So my dad, people think that I drive the Lamborghini just to drive the Lamborghini. Yes, it's a story behind it about when I was a kid. I used to have a toy, a yellow Lamborghini. So my dad comes and visit me once. Okay, my dad lives in California, so my dad comes and visit me, and my dad never kissed me. My dad is not the kissing, loving, I love you, son. He's not. I'm proud of you, son. He never done any of that stuff. Neither my mom, FYI. Neither my mom. Don't think that's why sometimes I'm kind of Rodolfo is kind of awkward. You know what I mean? He's not he's not like that. So my dad come and visit me once. Listen to this story. My dad come and visit me, and my dad never says, "I'm proud of you, son. I'm proud of you." Or come over here. Let me hug you. Let me see how you're doing. My dad is never like that. My dad is quiet, and he will give you some advice. So my dad come and visit me once, and he says, that's your Lambo? That's your Lamborghini? Yes. I mean, yes, Dad. Okay. Can I drive it? And my dad said, yeah, let's go. And can you come with me? So he's driving it. And he's driving it, and he's pushing it, right? He's driving it fast. He's driving it. He's going fast. That one. And then he comes, he didn't say anything, not even one word. But in my mind, guess what he's thinking? Man, I'm proud of my son. Man, my son is a pretty badass. You know what I mean? So reality is, I think that more people that are not coming from the industry want to do this business, not for the policies, not for the money, but for what it means. Sometimes we want to make our parents proud. Maybe, you know, Ahmed says something subtly. He says, I want my dad to know, my family to know that I also know how to run a company. Yeah. You know, sometimes we do for our kids. Sometimes you want your kids to say, man, that's Matt Sapaula. That's my dad. You know what I mean? Pick me. You know, when maybe your Jojo tells you, Daddy, can you pick me up, please? And you can pick me up in the Rolls. You know, it's not the Rolls Royce. It's the feeling that you have a son that is proud of you. You know what I mean? So we're attracting that kind of people that says, you know what? I want to be able to be somebody. Look, Ahmed Hazime being able to make $100,000 a month is like, what just happened? You know what I mean? So that's what I believe. I thought it was going to be deep, though. I thought it was not going to be a flexing story. Rodolfo is about to flex because he has a Lamborghini. No, I'm telling you, sometimes we do it because we want our parents, we want our kids to feel proud of us.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. By the way, we got a lot of comments here in the live chat. So Mohammed Alberto, he says, go, Ahmad, go. Joe Vester says, let's go, Ahmad. Chase Gordon here. M. Kanan, 313 is on. Tarek Murua. Bro, I butchered that one. Correct me, Ahmed. How do I say that?
I'm going to have to say it my way, and you're going to butcher it even more. But we're going to go, that's Tarek Murui.
Tarek, gotcha. Tarek. I'll just stick with Tarek. My man, my apologies. I'll get it right. So a lot of people are watching this on live. I appreciate you guys watching live. Make sure you have your questions towards the end of this podcast so we can have a little Q&A with both Rodolfo and Ahmed. So Ahmed, take us through a case study. Take us through a case study of how you got this client and how you made $100,000 in 1 month.
So, so this client comes in. It's not personal to me. I did not know the client. So we recruited this young lady. She joined our team. We followed the system with her, right? Top 25 list, fast start, do all those things. And the client was on her top 25 list. So we sat with her, we called him, set up a meeting. Expected nothing about it, right? Just want to run the meeting, get her some training, educate the client on what we do, right? So client comes in. He comes in, and keep in mind, I'm intimidated because the whole time he's like this. And I was like, oh man, like I got something. So I mean, I just continued educating the client what we do. I said two words about the product, and he went from this to
okay.
I like it.
We want to know, what are those two words?
Every wealthy person loves those two words. Tax-free.
Yeah. Everybody in the comment section, put that in the comment section below.
And he just jumped out of his seat. He was like, oh man, I need something tax-free. They're killing me on these taxes. So well, this is one of the products that could do that for you, right? Life insurance in general could do that for you. Generational wealth, things like that. So we sat with him, we did that. And I was like, okay, so Mr. Client, would you like to show you a quote? He's like, yeah. Okay, no problem. Hypothetically, I always say hypothetically, what do you want to see? What monthly can you afford? He hits me with $10,000 a month. I looked and I'm like,
comfortable.
I'm like, hypothetically, right? So, yeah, I just want to see something. Went over the illustrations, went over everything. We finished. I'm like, so Mr. Client, what do you think? I like it. He's like, you want to go forward? He's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, okay, how much do you want to put? $10,000 a month. I looked at him. I'm like, okay.
Stop. Control emotions. Control emotions.
Yeah, I have to control emotions. You can't jump up, right? So I'm controlling my emotions. And so while I'm controlling my emotions, what happens is, so I'm writing down and I'm like, 10,000 a month, right? He's like, yeah. I'm like, 120,000 a year? He's like, yeah. I'm like, 10,000 a month, not a year. He's like, yeah. I'm like, 120,000 a year, right? And I'm going back just
making sure you understand it. Your English is
I gotta
correct.
make sure, yeah. I gotta make sure. I can't mess up something. I gotta make sure. And then we go from there. Gotta do all the underwriting. Gotta do all these things. But with that, I mean, that case study that didn't come overnight, right? I mean, it didn't come, oh, yeah, okay, you just walked in. No, it took hours and hours of self-development, right? Building a team, watching videos, blueprint book, whatever it may be. It took hours and hours of follow-ups, a lot of no's, right? But you got to be resilient, man. So awesome. That came in.
So Ahmed, so how did the person that you recruited, what was the relationship with this person and how did they introduce them to you?
So that was her cousin. He was just coming in to help her with a meeting. He comes in and then like we just said. So that was her cousin. That was her family member. She just put him on the top 25 list. Family and friends, right?
Yep. Rodolfo, you know what blows my mind is that people even of this income and net worth caliber still don't have access to this information.
That's right. What a great point. And usually they don't know. There is a book out there. I don't remember the name of the book that it says that a lot of entrepreneurs that make a lot of money, multi-millionaires, they don't know about this product because they're so into. You know who also is not, they don't know about this product? Doctors, attorneys. They don't know. You mentioned that, Matt, the other day. Hey, I didn't want to talk to attorneys, and I found out they need us, know? Yep.
Yeah. What I find is people pretty much know one or two policies. It's usually this. It's either term insurance or whole life. That's all they think in the back of their mind. And really the truth is it's term insurance and then permanent life, because inside permanent life, you have 6 different sub policies of that style of life insurance. You got your whole life policy. You got your universal life policy. For people that have securities license, you got your variable universal life policy. And then you got your index universal life policy. And then you got your second to die policies. So there's 5 different variations, but everybody thinks they're all whole life. And that all changed in 1980. They all changed in 1980 when universal life was created. And everybody thinks that still, even 40 years later, people think there's only, one style outside of term insurance, that's whole life. And so I'm so glad that we're educating people in our community.
Matt, another thing that we all can all learn about this case that is powerful. He said it like this. He's just not saying, hey, come everybody, everybody's going to make $100,000 in a month. The first month in business. No, he's saying, hey guys, I went through a lot of no's. I went through prospecting. I went through talking to people. There is not like is not saying, you know what, let everybody come over here. Let's make $100K in a month. He's not saying that. He's saying, you know what? I had to go through the no's. I had to overcome the objection of the client being like this and not being open and teaching the client. So he knew the product. He knew what we were doing. There was a connection of why you call it that. He says it was somebody from the family, and he has been going through a lot of no's to find the yes. That's another thing that we can learn, Matt.
And a bunch of agents that may have been in Ahmed's position may have quit long before Ahmed decided to stick it together. That's Ahmed, you built Detroit from scratch. Is that what's happening?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is there anybody who else partnered with you?
Wasn't here. So Haas had that vision to bring PHP to Michigan, and then, like you say, we started here. I guess you could say that we're building it together. So, but PHP was not in Michigan before Haas tried to bring it here.
So Rodolfo, there's no other upline there in.
No, Detroit, it's Haas in Ahmed. So that's a great thing. They're working together as a team. That's not easy to do as well, because they're both of the world class. By the way, man, Ahmed and Haas, you know how people take a lot from your time sometimes? They are the people that take the least from my time. And they're the most disciplined. They never miss meetings. They come all the way from Michigan. They come over here to Houston for Fasters. You know that? Yep. They come, they fly. Another thing that we can learn from this case, Matt? Okay, yes, it's hard work. Yes, it is an effort. But you know what? At least we have an opportunity. This business can give an opportunity to, how people say, you are one sale away of financial independence. But that's also true. Our industry gives you a capacity. A sale can be $300, $500, right? Or it can be 100, 200,000. I remember there was a month that I became financial independent. You remember that, man?
Yep.
It was a month that I got paid $180,000. I never.
Everybody's talking about it.
What happened to that month? So, but obviously, it was not easy, right? Nobody, hey, piece of cake, don't come. It was not easy, okay? But interesting that we at least have the opportunity. At least we have that opportunity to find those clients.
Yep. What would some of the misconceptions that your community had, Ahmed, with life insurance?
Biggest misconceptions is they just don't believe in it. They don't believe in dying and then getting paid to die, basically. But that was the conception, right? Oh, when you think of life insurance, what do you think of? I die, family gets paid, right? No, there's so many other tools that life insurance could be used for that nobody knew until we came into Michigan. So that was a big thing for us as well, educating, bringing generational wealth into Michigan.
Ahmed, so somebody in your community, your family sadly passes away. How do they pay for it?
You got to go GoFundMe.
Damn.
You're seeing everything. You're seeing everything on GoFundMe now.
Yeah. So really, that's so. In other words, family members, either online or socially, are raising money to help bury somebody.
Basically, yeah. Unless the person just has the money, if they're well off. But most likely than not, you're going to see a GoFundMe account.
What happens if somebody in your community has all their money tied up in that restaurant? They have the money all tied up in a business, and they can't sell the business to pay for the funeral. What happens?
You're gonna have to go on GoFundMe again, or nobody gets buried.
How about you, Matt? Your community?
Filipinos are a little bit more open to life insurance.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because they're open to, because a lot of them are in the nursing community. I'll give you an example. When it came to long-term care, now when I came into the insurance business in 99, 2000. By the way, you're probably surprised that more Filipinos aren't on my team. I don't have a large Filipino clientele. I don't have a large Filipino agent base. Predominantly, Rodolfo, what would you say the demographic of the Money Smart Movement team predominantly is made up of?
Black, Hispanic.
Yeah, probably more Black than Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
How many Filipinos?
It's the tallest Filipino. People might look at you in this podcast and they meet you in person, they might think that you're 5'4". They look at you, you're 6'7", 6'8".
Only in high heels. Only in high heels. Okay.
For me, it happens the opposite. People see, I go to the events. What is Rodolfo? I'm here, brother, in front of you. Okay. I'm 5'4", 5'5". But anyway, go ahead.
Rodolfo, you walk around like, you walk around because your character and your reputation precedes you, brother. I'll say this. There's not a lot of Filipinos that follow me in business. I just had a family member pass away 2 days ago. I wish I had life insurance. Didn't listen to me, even though I've been doing this for 20 years. I hope my other relatives bought life insurance. I go to family parties. They know I'm in the insurance business. They never ask. Wow. I ask, I present. Hey, listen, hey, cuz, you don't have to buy life insurance from me. But I want you to know this is important to you. Pop. I see outside you got a Range Rover. I see outside you got a Mercedes. See out that. You look the part. You're living in the part. You sure travel the part. You sure eat out the part. I just hope that you really are the part, because when push comes to shove, I don't want an uncomfortable conversation from somebody in your family asking me for money to bury you. When we had this conversation in your 20s and 30s, and now that we're 60s and 70s, now you need money. We talked about this. So I just need to manage expectations up front. I'll make a contribution, but I'm not paying for the whole thing. But Filipinos for the most part are a little bit more open to life insurance. I think between India and the Philippines, more people per capita will buy life insurance because they're in the industry. They're in healthcare, right? A lot of Filipinos are in healthcare. So quick story. I in early 2000, I bought a long-term care policy for my mom and dad because we're in the business. And in my first 5 years in the insurance business, buying leads and doing dinner seminars. By the way, this is not PHP. But the first 5 years of my entrance into the insurance business after 8 years in the Marines was buying leads and doing dinner seminars. And I saw what people in their 60s and 70s were doing, that they were all alone in the nursing homes. I said, that's not happened to my parents. So I bought a long-term care insurance policy. Bro, would you believe that this Friday, I'm actually physically moving my parents to from Chicago, officially moving to Dallas. We have a beautiful retirement community for them to plug into with the necessary care, because my father's now 81, about to be 82 years old.
Oh, wow.
And guess who's paying the $5,000-6,000 a month? The long-term care insurance company. Wow. Not me. Thank God I paid $2,000 a year in the early 2000s all the way to 2012. I put 12 years into a long-term care insurance policy. And now 10 years later, it's paying off. And the best part, my mother has peace of mind, because initially right now she's a caregiver.
You just remind me of a story. We need to tell more stories like that, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you a story. It's not my story. is the story about Joe Jordan.
Huh.
Okay. And I read it recently and I shared it with some people. So it's going to take me, it's hard. Everybody needs to know the story. So look at this. I'm not reading it, but I know it by memory. Okay. So look at this. I was 9 months old when my dad passed away. And my mom had to work as a secretary. I have two older sisters that they have full scholarship to go to university, but they didn't go to university because they had to work for me and my younger brother to be able to go to university. So I went to university, graduated from university, and I got married. And my mom was getting older. And my mom, she stopped working, but she didn't want it to be, look at these words that he uses. My mom didn't want it to be an inconvenience to me and my wife. And this is this phrase that I have it memorized. And then he says, my mother willed herself to death.
Wow. Wow.
And then he keeps telling the story. I know the story by memory. It touches my heart so much. And then he says this, where was the advocate? Where was the life insurance agent that pushed my dad that my dad could have gotten a life insurance policy? Where is the advocate that could have sent my sisters to college? Where was the advocate that sold a long-term care policy to my mother, so she didn't have to be an inconvenient? Because let me put it to you like this. Your mom might want to go and live with you, but she's thinking, I don't want to be an inconvenience for you and Sheena. I know you guys your own family. So she's grateful that you can afford to go to a community where she can be okay. She can be free. Parents, they don't want to be an inconvenience to their kids. And I read the story and it's touched to me, because the next time I see a client, remember, sometimes I talk to people, since we're talking to communities, right? Sometimes I talk to this Hispanic guy, right? He says, I don't want to get a policy. Well, the policy is not for you, brother. Policy is for your kids. Okay? And your kids are not going to tell you, hey, dad, please buy a policy. Your kid is 2-year-old. Your 2-year-old is not telling you, hey, dad, stop being cheap and buy a policy. They're not going to tell you that. So guess what? I am going to be the advocate. So everybody that is listening to this, all my fellow insurance people, feel proud. You're the advocate for the ones who cannot speak. You're being advocate for the parents, for the kids who cannot speak. The policy is not for the parent. The policy is not for the person that is buying it. The policy is for you bought a policy, Matt, for your mom, so she can be okay. So anyway, I read the story. I think it was powerful. And you just touched my heart, Matt, telling that story, because it reminded me about the story about Joe Jordan. Not my story, Joe Jordan.
Yeah, and I remember your parents and seeing, or Ceci's parents a couple of weeks ago in Tulum. And just to think that one day, the potential for you both to be taking care of both sides of your family on your dime, and it has to be funded and financed some way. So, you know, and that's something we have to prepare for. It's something that people don't want to talk about. I didn't want to talk about it. It's very uncomfortable for me to talk about. Thank God I have a sister that, my little sister is kind of like my big sister in that regard, because she's much more organized than I am. But speaking of Tulum, why don't we take a look at a video from our Tulum trip? And Ahmed, are you ready to qualify for your first? I know you're brand new, you're a rookie, but are you ready to qualify for your first company paid trip?
Man, seeing these videos, I gotta go to these trips, man, and I gotta qualify.
He knows exactly what he needs, because I posted the report today. You know exactly what he needs.
I know what I need as well, so we got it.
All right, so let's take a look at this here right here. All right, because we're going to Cabo, but let's take a look at this. By the way, quick reaction. Isn't Paul just a killer editor, man?
He's
Freaking
awesome,
Paul.
man.
Bro, man, our PHP team, media team, hats off to you guys. Paradizos. Guys.
What's going on? Live here from Saloon.
Am
I live?
Hey,
bro, how was it for the kids?
Milo.
Milo. How was it for the kids in the water, bro? The experience with them.
Gosh, man, they are. By the way, there was a day that I spent the entire day with them in the water, having fun. We had a moment. This is a day that we had a moment together. You know, that's how you connect with the kids. You need those vacations. You need those times to be with them. We had a blast, man. Look at Milo. He's having a blast.
Let's take a look at it. All the kids.
Can I give a quick comment?
Okay. This is what makes this trip tax deductible right here.
There you go.
The meeting portion of it.
Rodolfo, people might think, hey, they're going to work over there. No, I mean, that's a quick meeting that we do. Okay, the rest is just fun. Go ahead.
Yep.
All right.
So people are wondering what's going on. We're recognizing, even in the trip, we're recognizing top performers. That's the PHP culture. Everything's a leader's bulletin. So annoying, but yet so gratifying. Oh, this is the combat volleyball right here, right? This is what we compete for. How's it traveling with your brother, bro?
Huh?
How's it traveling with your brother, your family, man? Look at that.
Yes, Marcelo, Gavi, Brenda, and Ceci over there in the back.
So we got El Salvador, Mexico, y Puerto Rico all in one shot. What a great collab. What were these things?
Maybe Ahmed knows their name. I don't know their name.
They're just hanging out. Bro, they're all over the place, like squirrels.
I was telling Milo they were monkeys, but they don't have monkeys, okay?
Nice. Excursions. Look at that. So Pelayo decides to go scuba diving, right? And first time ever scuba diving, this brother goes down 60 feet out there in Cancun. Rodolfo, you been scuba diving before?
Yes.
Is it an awesome experience? Of course, you're a swimmer.
Yeah, great experience. It's so relaxing and meditating. Because you're alone. It's you. You cannot talk to anybody. You're yourself in the middle of the ocean by yourself. It's very, very relaxing.
Yep. Ahmed, you ever been scuba diving?
I have not been scuba diving, but I do want to for sure. It looks like Rodolfo says, it looks amazing. So maybe in Cabo.
Yes, it.
There you go.
I think the coolest thing about scuba diving is being able to be underneath and breathe underwater. Like you're like, oh, I'm not drowning. I'm breathing. Cool feeling. I mean, bro, world class, man. I mean, the way PHP puts its events together. I mean, performances, dinner, food. The place we were at was all inclusive. Rodolfo, did you know what an all inclusive resort was before PHP? I didn't.
No, I mean, the only all inclusive that I've been is maybe a buffet over there and a $10 buffet. Chinese $10 buffet. That's the only all-inclusive that I ever known, brother.
Yeah, man. My inclusive was all-inclusive bills. That's all I had. Shoot, pay for everything, bro. Look at this.
That was phenomenal. It's great. Mexican culture is so rich.
Yeah.
Their food, their dances, their music, their Mexican culture. I'm telling you, is so rich.
Bro, let me ask you this question. I mean, Mexico, Guatemala, El Salvador, it's kind of like the same country, just divided by borders. I mean, could have been back like 500 years ago that you guys were all the same.
I tease my friends all the time because they say, because El Salvador, they always wanted to fight with Mexico because of soccer, right? But I tell them this, listen, man, you're fighting all the Mexican and all of a sudden you're bringing mariachis to your wife. Okay. So stop it. Okay. So stop wanting to fight. Okay. You love Mexicans. Okay. And you're eating tacos all the time. So stop it. Yeah. We're brothers, man.
That's it.
There you go.
That's cool, Spirit. Light show. Yeah.
You see I found this at Neiman Marcus.
You see this?
Did you hear about this? Neiman Marcus.
It's high quality.
You can't buy it.
You cannot.
It can only be gifted. You cannot buy it.
It's about this right here. This is pretty unique. Conversations.
Oh, yeah. Change your life.
This is Steph and Chris Solis in their mid to late 20s, and they are able to associate with people that are making a lot more money than them, qualified than them. I think this is probably the most unique thing about the trip is these associations and conversations. Look how focused they are. Look at their eyes. That's so cool. There you go. Guys in Plaza.
I got some dance moves.
It is, man. Woo!
Love it, man.
Next trip up is Cabo. Well, actually, next trip up this summer is Paris, Monaco.
Yes, Monaco and Paris.
I love, man. Traveling the world, man. Let's travel the world. All right. So let's talk about a couple of things. Let's shift gears here. So, people are going through what's going on with Russia, Ukraine, affecting us with gas prices and inflation out the roof. And a conversation happened during our weekly Dream Team call with our CEO, founder, Patrick and David. By the way, Ahmed's on a Dream Team call now.
That's right.
So, Ahmed, what's it like for you now to qualify for a weekly mentoring call? And just so you guys know, for those of you watching this, I know Rodolfo knows this, but if you were to qualify or if you were to purchase on the valuetainment side of things, a package to be in a group mentoring session with our CEO founder I think it's once a month, not once a week like we do, but once a month. It's a 3-month minimum. I think $5,000, $6,000 a month. Just so you guys know, but we get it because we're part of his company. We get it absolutely for gratis. How do you say free in your language?
You gotta say balesh.
Balesh.
Yeah.
It's balesh. Big balesh. So Ahmed, what's it like to be on a weekly mentoring call now for at least because you're not going to give up your seat, right? So what does it feel like for your first week on the mentoring call with PBD?
So me and Haas were always talking about that, man. Like that was one of the dreams coming in. That was the vision. It's like for PBD, just I have an hour and a half of his time. I watch his videos all day, but now it's him in person speaking directly to me, directly to us. It's a different type of level, a different mindset. It's going to take my business to the next level. Just having an hour and a half every week with PBD, it's gonna take my business to the next level.
That's awesome, bro. And with everything we got going on, and by the way, Ahmed, you remind me a lot when I was 24, 25 years old, because that's the age I started the business too as well. But I want to talk about what you can control and what you can't control. I think that's very important because, oftentimes with what the country is going through right now and what we personally go through in our lives, one of the best things that PHP has taught us, one of the best things that our CEO founder has mentored us through is being able to process issues and bounce back through conflict. And sometimes, Rodolfo, you've seen us being part of Dream to Call for a minute now, for years, is that certain people don't know how to bounce back from a crisis, or they get distracted by the wrong things. So let's do a quick speed round here, because on one column, I got things you can control and things you can't control. So I'm going to give you guys a sentence, and I want you guys in 10, 15 seconds, speed round. I want you guys to give your quick opinion about this area. You guys ready to do this?
Yeah, let's do it.
So Rodolfo, start with you. Okay, here's our things when you're going through a crisis. Focus on what you can control, what you can't control. So let's start with what you can control. Rodolfo, the way you respond.
I can control it. I control it. I can control I cannot control the way that people are going to treat me, but I can control the way that I'm going to treat them. I can control my response 100%.
Good. Ahmed, the way you react to situations. Your thoughts on that?
The way I react to situations, we can control those 100%. Your attitude towards that situation, personality towards that situation, energy towards that situation. You can control all those things. So with that, you can control that.
The next one is the way you behave.
100%.
The first thing that you can control that. The first thing I think about when I see that sentence is energy. Do I want to put energy into the situation or not? Because once I spend this energy, do I have to spend more energy just to get me back to where I can operate? Because sometimes you have a situation that takes you out and it sapped all your energy. You're on an unnecessary phone call for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. And then the next call you have is negative because you're still unwinding from the negative energy you spent in the area that you either behaved in or badly behaved in. Rodolfo, back to you. How you feel?
I can control it. Of course I can. Yeah. How I feel. It's how I feel and the meaning that I can give to that. You know what I mean? Yep. The meaning. Somebody can say, I don't know, give me any example. I can give the meaning that I want to.
That's it. Ahmed, what about your attitude?
So my attitude, 100%. We can control it. Attitude's everything. Gives off the energy, like you said. You walk in with a positive attitude, people want to be around you, right? If you walk in with a negative attitude, shoulders down, slouched, I want to get away from you. So we can control that.
I do the same. Hey, I tell people, hey, if you're negative, I'm not going to tell you, hey, you're negative. I'm just going to run away from you. That's what I'm going to be doing.
Pretty much.
Yep.
The next one I'll take, this is your effort. And very simply put up, I'll say this. If I can control it, I'm going to give it 100% effort. If I can control it, 0. Back to conservation of energy. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Let's talk about things you can't control. So we just talked about the things you can control. Let me give you thoughts and ideas under 15 seconds of things you cannot control. Okay. Rodolfo, let's start with you. What others think of you.
What am I going to spending time and thinking what they're thinking about me? You know, probably they're thinking about what I'm thinking about them. You know what I mean? Some people say, I'm worried about prospecting because I don't know what they're going to be thinking about me. Well, guess what? They're thinking about what you're thinking about them. So don't worry about that.
That's it, Rodolfo. Ahmed, how others behave.
I mean, you can't control other people's behaviors and shouldn't waste your energy on that as well. I mean, you just control what you can, how you behave, and go from there. Associate yourself with people the same behavior as you. Don't control other bad behaviors. You can't control those.
But this one, what other people do. By the way, this one's probably easier said than done. For example, I'm thinking about my wife right now. Can I control what my wife does? Does my wife do things that piss me off and irritate me? Of course.
I don't
Do
think
I do
so.
things that piss her off and irritate her too? Of course. Yeah, we can talk about getting ready in the morning. Where's the toilet paper? Toilet seat up or down? Where's the toothpaste? Did you put the cap back on? Those type of things. But I can't control that. You just got to find a way to work together with. So therefore, things that other people do don't annoy you. Because again, back to conservation of your energy. Rodolfo, back to you. What happens around you?
Neither the weather. For some people, when it's raining, some people get sad. Other people get happy. Hey, it's raining. We're gonna have crops. They're happy. But some people get depressed. Have you watched Batman or no? Have you watched Batman?
Oh yeah, of course.
The last one.
Not the last one.
The 18-hour Batman or no?
Is that well?
Ahmed, have you watched it?
No, I haven't watched that yet.
Okay. Next, it's about 3 hours, okay? But it's the longest Batman. Okay, homework. Go watch Batman. And then next podcast, we give our opinion because I have a strong opinions on this Batman, the last Batman.
By the way,
it's kind of dark.
It's kind of dark. I like
dark.
One time, they're like, hey, Superman's got superpowers. Wonder Woman's got superpowers. Iron Man's got his inventions. So Batman, what's your superpower? You know what his answer was?
Money.
I'm rich.
Yes. But this last Batman is different. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with you. Since we're in a podcast, I'm very disappointed. I was a Batman fan. I am a Batman fan.
Who played Batman on this one? Who played Batman?
I don't remember his name.
Robert Pattinson, something like that.
Yeah, I went to sleep. I slept for 45 minutes during the movie. I'm a biggest Batman fan. I'm sorry if they're listening to somebody from the movie. You can listen to me. Next week we can talk about the movie.
Well, I tell you what, we got limited time. I'm curious about this. Let's throw this away for a second. Since we're on the topic, I want your top movies for entrepreneurs. Every entrepreneur should watch this movie, whether it's a series or it's a movie, whether it's a documentary. Because if you're going to go on Netflix, you might as well watch something that's productive, right? You might as well watch something that's going to feed your soul, your spirit, your drive, your passion. Ahmed, if you got one off the top of your head, what would be that one for you? Every entrepreneur should watch this movie.
Entrepreneur movies. It's the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
What?
Called The Aviator.
If you can. Which one?
I think it's called The Aviator.
Oh, The Aviator. Very good movie. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He literally from scratch built that whole company.
Love it.
Yeah, it's a very good movie.
Rodolfo, what's your movie?
I mean, I need to go with that. I need to go with the founder, McDonald's story. I love the story when and by the way, I'm a Godfather type of guy. I'm a Rocky type of guy because Rocky tells you about fighting and coming back, even though it's not necessarily an entrepreneur movie. I'm a Rocky fan, but the founder, when he tells, listen, couples are running the best shops, couples are running the best burger places, and he goes from nothing in his mind. He builds the empire of McDonald's. I'm a founder type of movie. How about you?
Mine off the top. I'm going OG on this one. You ever hear that phrase? Coffee is for closers.
Yeah.
Do you know what movie it comes from?
Boiler Room or which one? No.
Keep going older. It's a movie called Glengarry Glen Ross.
Oh wow!
It was originally a Broadway show.
Black and white.
Are you giving me some crap about still reading newspapers, Rodolfo? Ahmed, every time we go travel,
they have sound. That the movie has sound. This
I already know how to know this movie.
Okay, yes. This is Sapaula's time, okay? Okay, Ahmed.
It's got Alec Baldwin in it. It's got De Niro in it. Ed, what's his name? Al Pacino's in it. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. So it's about these guys selling land, timeshares. They're selling land. It's a salesman's movie. And they're like, come on, man, I can't sell nothing because the leads suck. right? And then Alec Baldwin says, I got the Glenn Ross leads. And anyway, the premise of the show is, it ain't about the leads, man. You just suck. No matter if we give you leads, good leads, bad leads, you just suck. And so it was about these three salesmen because they all had different experiences. One was a master salesman. One was a guy trying to get back. He's an older guy trying to get back on his groove. There's a young up and comer. So I related to it because it reflects our office. OG.
So the movie name is Glenn
Ross. And then when the old guy in the back, during a sales meeting, the old guy in the back is pouring coffee and Alec Baldwin says, put that coffee down. Why? Because coffee is for closers and you haven't closed nothing. Put that coffee down. You ain't drinking coffee. That's where it comes from.
Good. How crazy these guys have built companies in the past with no internet, no Facebook, no Instagram, no nothing, huh?
Yeah. And speaking of which, we're going to train our guys on how to do all this at our next train-to-trainer event coming up in April. And so we want to give you a quick video of what our train-to-trainers have been in the past, because this is the event where it's all about skills. We want to train on skills and how to increase your sales, increase your recruiting, team building, get to a dream type of income. So let's take a look at this video here on our next train-to-trainer coming up here in April. Let's take a look at this.
Freedom comes at a cost. That your discipline will either give you the life that you want, or your lack of discipline will give you a life full of regret. You are free to make those choices. You are not free of the consequences.
I want to help you build a Mississippi river of cash flow.
So I hope that you guys leave here today just with that new, renewed mindset.
I can't wait to see what happens in the next 10 years.
PHP can change your life, but you have to change first.
PHP, baby. PHP knows, baby.
And I want to work with somebody who's excited.
After party. What? Universal Studios.
The people underestimating the after party. Universal Studios.
Oh, it's nuts.
Unlimited rides. We're going to have food. We're going to have fun. We're going to have Universal Studios is going to be one of the greatest. I predicted. My prediction. Okay, Universal Studios is going to be the best after party we ever had. We have done hackathon. We have done clubs. We have done Disney. But I promise you, Universal Studios, so many people are going to have so much fun.
Again, let's repeat that one more time. When our associates qualified for the after party, PHP shut down the Universal Studios just for our agents. What? That's correct. I'm fired up about that. So do you have an opportunity to qualify? Check with your marketing director what the qualifications are, and also make sure what the qualifications are for the trainer after party. At this point, I like to ask questions from our live audience. We got a bunch of people here in the live chat box. We'll answer a couple questions here before we let Ahmed go. There's questions about recruiting, about team building, about leadership development, about overcoming objections. Whatever your questions are, put in the comment section below and get an opportunity to win the book of the month. By the way, the book of the month, let me get it out here right quick. The book of the month is Barbarians
to Bureaucrats.
Correct. It's Barbarians to Bureaucrats right here. Everybody in the company is reading this right now. And isn't it cool, Rodolfo, Ahmed, where our team learns together, we develop together, we bleed together, we cry together, we win together, we compete together. I mean, it's unlike any other culture or environment that has been seen in the insurance industry. So, Ahmed, I want to ask you this question, man. Actually, Nana Ose's got a question for you. Okay. And that question is this. What were the 3 hardest skills you had to learn being new to this industry as well, starting in an area city with no direct leadership in the city to help you out?
3 biggest skills. You got to learn how to have urgency. That's probably number 1. Main thing is self-developing, right? Because I can't go up to somebody. Me last year, before PHP, cannot go up to somebody and have a full-on conversation with them the way I would do now. So urgency, self-development, and just basically building trust, building relationships. Those would be the 3 biggest things.
Well, I just realized 3 of us have that in common right now. Rodolfo, you started off Houston all by yourself. Ahmed started off Detroit all by himself. Yours truly started off Chicago by himself, and now Dallas by itself without any direct upline leadership.
What a great point what you just said. Yeah. You're right. It's like, man, you're in your own city. You need to figure it out.
Build it from scratch. Build it from the dirt. You know, and so
there is another question there for Ahmed. What do you do to help you stay disciplined?
It's a good one. What I do to keep me disciplined, my why. Just thinking about my why. Why am I doing this? Why do I have to be disciplined?
What's your why? What's your why? What could you share something with us?
So my why would be, I know I shared this with you when you came to the office in Michigan. So my mother passed away in 2018. I didn't really get a chance to just show her what I can do. You know, I didn't get a chance to make her proud, right? How old is that? Like 18, 19, whatever it may be. So I didn't have a chance to make her proud. So my why is, I mean, I got to make my dad proud, man. I mean, he's the last one left. So I don't know how much time we have, but I gotta make him proud. I gotta build a legacy that he sees.
Proud of you. What a phenomenal answer, Bellis.
Now we understand. Now we understand. Now I understood. Now everybody knows. Nobody can go against a why. Say, don't worry about the how. Worry about your why. Powerful, man.
Because when the why is strong, the how is easy. You'll find out how. If your why isn't strong enough, man, it's like, this is just another business. Yeah, I'll get to the BOM. Yeah, I might, hold myself accountable to my mentors. And yeah, maybe I'll do a once a week meeting, but not consistent if your why isn't strong enough. So sorry to hear about your loss in 2018, man. I know how tough that is for a son. So condolences for you, brother. And Miriam Rivera sends you condolences too, as well, here in the chat box too, as well. So another question. So what are the main objections? What are the main objections you receive in a new market? How do you overcome those objections? By starting a new location. Rodolfo?
Object to me as a client or agent?
Starting a new office, starting a new location.
It's not objection. Look at this. It's better this phrase. When people come and they say, I don't want to buy a policy, I want to think about it. Or I don't want to start my own business because I don't want to invest in getting my license. Whatever is the objection. Here's what we all need to have in our mind, whatever we think about the objection. In absence, okay, let me read it to you. Let me read it correctly, what I want to say. Price is only an issue in the absence of value. Price is only an issue in the absence of value, meaning the objection on the price or any objection you're going to have it if you don't add value. The more value we add, the less objections you're going to have. Because nobody will have any objection of passing a license or investing in your license if you know you're going to become successful in something. Nobody will. Guys, if you knew that something is going to happen to you or to somebody that you love, would you have an objection getting a policy today? Probably not. Okay? If you know that tomorrow you're not going to be able to work because of the disability, you wouldn't have any issue buying a long-term care policy, whatever it is. I'm just giving you some examples. Whatever you're thinking is, how can I add value to the next person I'm speaking with? The more value I add, the less objections, the less issue of the price.
Love it. Speaking of that, if there's anybody that knows how to find value in the things they do in their life, it's our ladies. So yesterday was International Women's Day, and we have a video here to honor the women of our company. And for those of you who may not know this, according again to our DEI report, there's 53% women in PHP Agency, 47% men. And that's a funny thing that also our ladies make more money than the guys here at PHP Agency, which is opposite of what the insurance industry is all about. So Ahmed may be profiled right now, man, but we have a ton more women making more money than him.
By the way, in his office, there's a lot of women. Yes, Ahmed?
Yep, a lot of women. And they're kicking the guys' butts.
See?
Put it that way.
See, so let's take a look at this video about International Women's Day.
You know, growing up, I was always taught that as soon as I was married and had kids, that it would limit my ability to really pursue any business career.
You could care, but you could also be dominant in what you're doing.
Women are very powerful individuals. I don't think they tap into how powerful they are.
It becomes an example for you. It becomes a guidance for you. PHP Ladies platform has just grown nationally.
As a woman, you can be a business professional and you can have a family. You don't have to choose between the two.
Wow. You know, that's what, wow, ladies, thank you, ladies of PHP Agency and the women in our lives. We love you. We appreciate you. And no, I'm not a believer that we only should celebrate our women on International Women's Day or Mother's Day. We should be celebrating International Women's Day and Mother's Day, birthday, Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, any holiday, every day. Every day. So ladies, we thank you, man. So I'm excited about a lot of things we got going on in our company. Ahmed, I want to ask you this, final thoughts, man, because we just had a recent draft. And brother, a lot of people passed up on you because they weren't sure if you were the real deal yet. I mean, you're a rookie, you made $100,000 a month. But by the way, isn't it cool that in our culture that if you make $100,000 a month, people are like, yeah, okay, we'll see you. Let's see if you stick around next month.
How crazy is that? Okay. He only did it once. How crazy is our culture? Go ahead, Ahmed.
Right. On our culture, making $100,000 is like minimum wage. But anyway, Ahmed, what do you have to say to your detractors out there of why they passed up on you on the draft?
I mean, like I said, during the draft, a lot of people passed up on Tom Brady as well, right? So, I mean, there's going to have to wait and see. Ricky and Erica, they got the steal of the draft. Let's just put it, I had to be a steal, I guess. They got the steal of the draft, and it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough to beat us.
So it's you guys.
Brackets are very legit.
Ito, Ezzy, and you guys.
Yep.
And who's your bracket, Matt?
My bracket or my team?
No, your team. I'm sorry.
My team is Moon. I got an all-veteran team. I got Moon and I got Corman. I got one former Army, one former Navy.
And who are you going against to right now?
Yeah, we're ahead right now on the brackets. But all I know is that in the second round we got you. we got you. So if you guys are watching this right, you guys don't know what we're talking about. Our company picks the top 32 teams in the company, and we go head to head on a few categories and who outperforms who.
So and Ahmed, who are you going against to? Who's the other team?
I'm not sure exactly who the other team is. All I know is we're beating them by like 100 points or something. So
I hope they listen.
I hope we go to the next round.
Good. Well, Matt is already thinking about the next round. I like that. By the way, we're going to be in the podcast. We're going to be talking about it. Right? We're going to be in the podcast. Next podcast. Maybe we invite the other teams in the next podcast, right?
Oh, that's a great idea. Bring the other teams coming up. We're like toe-to-toe. Bring the other two MDs on us. So, so as before we let you go and give your final thoughts here, Ahmed and Rodolfo, let's take a look at what our prizes are. What our prizes are when we compete in this March Madness contest based on this video that our top winners and earners earned last March. And if you want to be celebrated and treated like a hero, and you want to experience some of the best things that life has to offer, you want to compete then on the PHP March Madness competition. Let's take a look at this. Sheesh.
They're spending 4 to 5 days over there. That's your house for the next 4 days.
How'd you do an appointment out there, bro?
And then you go there.
And then come and get you a yacht. Jet skis.
It's been the most amazing experience I've ever had with PHP, and I probably say that every single trip I go to, but every single trip is just on another level. It's just making it better and better and better.
Up there in the ocean. Oh, God, dolphins.
Hello, we're in Miami. We're here together, having a great time.
We have jet skis, we have a pool, we have water slides. You watch another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, $10 million yachts pass by. Make sure that you qualify for next time and don't miss this type of events. We'll see you guys next time.
And on top of that, you have excited. What about the show? There you go.
So, by the way, it's Ricky Aguilar there. He qualified for it. #1 last year, champion. You're a champion, Rodolfo. So just to get everybody up to speed, the budget for the #1 prize is $100,000. And the company rented out one of the baddest homes in Miami. In front, we're about to show the cars. Let's take a look at these cars.
2 488s, the Urus that hasn't even came out yet, and the California out, the Ferrari California. Sick.
It's amazing. This is crazy.
You know that's mine right there, if I can fit in it.
That's right.
I asked you for toilet paper, bro. This guy gets a Ferrari.
What a life.
I promised myself that I was gonna compete. I was gonna make certain that I qualify for everything.
That's not cool. Tell me that's not cool.
That's nuts, bro. That's nuts.
Tell me not. It's not a shot. It's not a shot. I don't like to take shots. Okay.
That's why PHP is disrupting the insurance industry, because everybody thinks that the insurance industry is boring. Are you kidding
Tell
me?
me your company does that to you. It's not a shot. It's not a shot. I don't like to take shots because I don't like to people. I like to respect people. But tell me that's not cool. I don't know any other company that does that. I don't know any other company. Okay, that does something like that for their guys. I don't know. But anyway.
What experience. Before I let you go, Ahmed, your final thoughts here before we wrap up this podcast, episode 39.
Final thoughts. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Final thoughts. And like they said, qualify for everything. I just can't get over that video. I'm still thinking about that video. Man, I mean, just qualify for everything. Be urgent, be resilient in this business. Like I said, I had to go through a lot of no's to get the yes, basically. Biggest thing, like Tim Grover says, mind over feelings, right? Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. So that's the mindset I always have in this business. Those are my final thoughts, really. Nothing more than that.
We celebrate you, man. Continued success to you. Make sure that you don't build a reputation of one and done. You keep that foot on the gas. You got momentum on your side. Keep dancing with her because she's a very jealous beast. The moment you don't pay attention to momentum, man, she's going to find somebody else that gives her attention. So you got a lot to fight for, and we're going to be reminding you of your why. The whole company knows now. They've been watching the podcast. The whole company knows now your why. They can push your button very easily to get you back on track, which I don't think we're going to have to do that very much.
No, we're good to go. Don't worry about me.
Very proud of you, Ahmed. Rodolfo?
I mean, I'm telling you, I'm predicting this month is going to be the greatest month in the history of our company. And don't forget, I think that this is a great reminder. This podcast was a great reminder. What Ahmed's story was saying, what you were saying, Matt, it's a great reminder to don't forget our why and the reason why we do this. It's not the cars. Yeah, that's cool, though. It's not the houses. It's the money. That money is good. It's cool. But don't forget about your parents. Don't forget about your kids. Don't forget about the reason why somebody buys a policy. Don't forget the reason why somebody gets protected their money into an annuity because they want to have an income for life. Don't forget to why we're bringing on board a new agent because that person has a kid that one day is going to go to college and that kid might be the president of the United States. Or that kid might want to look at their dad, his dad, and say, I'm proud of my dad. Don't ever forget perspective. What we do is powerful, and there is not a lot of companies out there. There is not forget about companies. There is not a lot out there that is bringing hope, is bringing a good promise, a good future to people. So we do. So don't forget. I think today was a great podcast to remind us about our whys. That's my message, man.
Awesome. Yeah, my final thoughts are in this situation. Don't look at Ahmed right now. It's 20. Ahmed, again, how old are you? 20?
24.
24, young, single, married, no kids, right?
Nope.
Don't let anybody talk you out of your dreams. Don't let anybody say that you're too young, you're not professional enough, you're not educated enough, you're not classy enough, blah, 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 all that crap. All they're doing is projecting what they feel about themselves to you. And so when people are not really in the game, they're not really wanting to compete, unlike yourself, that want something out there. For those of you watching, you want something more out of life. The people that you got to avoid are people, those that decide to hide. They want to compete. They want to put themselves out there. They use words like hopefully, one day, where we say it will be, it's going to be done and did. Just like the videos that you've just been watching. People hope to travel to Tulum. People hope to be in Miami and drive exotic cars. Well, this was on our dream board too as well, and that ignites a fire. Some of you guys say, well, those things don't matter to me. I know, but something is going to matter to you. You just got to find out what that is, but don't hide. And the thing too as well, don't be in a position of, speaking of being hiding, don't blame other people or don't lash out to other people that are fighting for their dreams. If you don't want to fight, knock yourself up. There's plenty of room on the sideline, but don't knock down the person that's willing to fight, willing to get their feet on the ground and be the man or woman in the arena and fighting for what they feel and believe in. And you're right, Rodolfo. This is March Madness. This is Monster May. We're going to find out new names. There are a lot of new names in the company, a lot of new names. Maybe, Ahmed, the reason why they didn't choose you, not because you just didn't have a big month, but they just don't know your name yet enough. And that's what's going to make our MD meetings very interesting because a lot of new names are coming up in the company. It's just not the same old names anymore at the top of the leaderboard. So with that being said, guys, every Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, we do the PHP podcast. Next week, we have a very interesting conversation. Episode 40 will be a 40th episode of this podcast with my co-host here, Rodolfo Vargas. And I want you to know that the insurance industry is primed for you to consider entering in. Why? We didn't even get into talking about inflation yet. We didn't even get to talk about the instability of the markets. Probably have a little bit more detail for next week's episode, but we want to make sure that you have a financial weapon to play offense. Rodolfo, you remember when Biden was talking about, we're not going to raise taxes. We're not going to raise taxes. True to its form. However, we have something that we're dealing with today. It's called the silent tax. You know what that is? It's called inflation. That's right. Gas costs. I went to California last week, $5-6 for gas.
Damn.
What the heck's wrong with California?
Damn.
And they asked President Biden last week, hey, President Biden, where's gas price going to go? He said, there, it's going up. You get the Secretary of Transportation, Peter Buttigieg, say, hey, why don't you just go buy an electric car? Yeah, why not? Let's just go buy an electric car just like that. Why don't you donate it to an electric car if that's how you feel about it? But that's where the powers that be. And guess what? If you want the best things out of life, nobody's going to give it to you. If you want the best things in life, you got to go out there and you got to fight for it. Even though you deserve it, you got to go out there and fight for it. And when you earn it, you appreciate, you value it, and you're more grateful when you receive it. So that being said, on behalf of Ahmed, our guest today, on behalf of my friend, my business partner, my co-host, Rodolfo Vargas, I'm your smart guy. And until we meet again, make sure you like, subscribe to our channel. Drop your biggest thoughts in the comment section below. So until we meet again, continue to help people, continue to love people, and continue to change your lives today. We'll see you next week, everybody. Bye-bye, bye-bye, bye-bye.